Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So today we're going to make a chocolate pudding cake. Who doesn't like chocolate, right? I know there are some people that don't, but most of the people I know love chocolate. So we're going to get started on this. It's a simple little recipe. It requires just a few ingredients, and I think it's going to be delicious. And it also doesn't require frosting, which is kind of nice, right? All right, so let's get going on this. Okay, so for the first thing we're going to do is we're going to prep a little bit before we head on over. So I'm going to spray my 9x13 pan with some cooking oil. Okay, then I'm going to measure out. Now the recipe calls for a cup of nuts. Oh gosh, that got in my throat. Sorry about that. I'm not a fan of nuts, so instead I'm going to use chocolate chips. So it does call for chocolate chips, but it only calls for 1 cup of regular semi-sweet, so that's what I'm using, chocolate chips. But for the nuts, I'm going to use white chocolate for the nuts. So I just went to the grocery store, I just bought the store brand of nuts, or not nuts. Why do I keep calling them nuts? Of white chocolate peanuts, or white chocolate chips. Oh my word. So I'm just going to use a cup of this, and instead of the nuts. I'm just not a fan of nuts in baked goods. I don't mind nuts, but I just don't want to eat put them in baked goods. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of mix these up so that they're all mixed up. All right, so we got that done. So now we're going to head over to the stove and we're going to get going on the other stuff. All right, so let's get going over there and keep on going. Okay, so I've got my pudding. We're using the cook and serve pudding. And so I'm going to open it and pour it in. Now this actually calls for a 3.5 ounce, and I have 5 ounces, so I'm not going to put it all in there, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it because I feel better doing that, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I measured out 3.5 ounces, and then I just spilt. So I've got that going in. And then I'm going to add 2 cups of milk. Whoa, almost knocked my camera off. And I'm going to pour that in to the saucepan. And I am preheating my oven to 350. Okay, so we're going to heat this to boiling. When I was growing up, my mom would always get this kind of jello, the pudding, the cook and serve, and she would make pies out of it. So every time I see these packages or I use them for anything, I immediately think of her. And then I'm using a devil's food cake cake mix, but you can use any kind of chocolate cake mix you want. So we're just going to heat this to boiling, and then we're going to turn off the heat and add the cake mix. Clean up my mess a little. Okay, so it's starting to boil. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is, so I'm going to turn it off. And then I'm going to add the cake mix. What in the world? My shears are not cutting. What the heck? Well, I got it open enough that I can tear it. You're just going to dump it in there. And then we're going to stir it up. And we're just going to mix it until everything is coated, or you don't see any more cake mix. It's almost like a fudge consistency. Okay, so we got this mixed. Now we're going to head over and put it in the pan. So let's move back to the other side of the kitchen. Okay, so we're now going to dump it into the pan. And I'm going to get out a spatula to get it all out of the pan, because there's still quite a bit in there. Okay, get it off of the spoon. You guys, this smells wonderful. I wish you could smell it. Okay, so then we're just going to kind of spread it out in the pan. And you just want to get it evenly distributed in the pan. Every time I touch it, I find more holes. Okay, so now we're going to sprinkle over the chips. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Yep. All right, so we're going to get this in the oven, and we're going to cook it for 25 minutes. And I'll bring you back to show you what it's going to look like. Okay, so I pulled it out of the oven, and it is smelling good. So we're going to let it cool, and then we will cut into it. And I'm pretty sure it's going to taste delicious. You know, though, I'm wondering, I might try a little corner. I'm just kind of spreading out. Oh, they don't spread very well. So then I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it. All right. So it looks really good. It smells delicious. Can't wait to have a piece of it. So I just want to thank you for coming along with me. And yep, my mic's still on. I did want to say that I got it out of this cookbook. It's Holidays and Parties, and this was a 4th of July, under the 4th of July section. And but you could do this any time of the year, really. You could just do it because you want to have some chocolate cake. So it doesn't matter when you really do it. All right, well, once again, I want to thank you for coming along with me. I hope that you're having an amazing day and that everything's going great for you. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, and hit the share button. Let's help grow my channel. All right, I will talk to you soon. Bye.